Hey everybody. Today we're gonna go through my review of the Seestar. And I've had it for about a year now. And I'll just tell you like what I've liked and what I've not liked. So let's get into it. So I have a friend who's been doing amateur astronomy for a lot of years, and he just knows so much stuff. And I'm brand new, right? I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. When I first expressed an interest in astronomy, he gave me some of his older stuff that he didn't need anymore so that I could get started. And I've just been completely overwhelmed by the whole thing. And I Google and I watch other videos and stuff that kind of explain how you get the mount set up, and because he's not able to just hands-on help me a lot. And so I've been able to kind of figure out some basics and stuff, but it just also seems just like so much work to I got everything all set up, and then it's like, "Okay, now how do I get it outside?" I can't keep it outside unless I get, like, another cover or something for it, but I also can't keep it in an easily accessible area because I'm always worried about, like, the dogs knocking things over or something, so I have to keep it in an out of the way spot. And when I think about it too, it's like to just do all that work for just view something, and then it's like it's gone. It's like, yeah, I have the picture in my head and stuff, but I guess I just have been finding that I just really don't have whatever it takes to really be that into it unless I could take pictures. And to be able to do astro imaging adds like a whole nother level of complexity when I'm just struggling to do just very basic things. So I kind of needed like a step down from everything. And so when he suggested last year the Seestar for me, I was a little apprehensive at first, but I decided to take a look, and I ended up getting one, and I'm really glad I did. The Seestar comes in a nice little carrying case, and it has a whole bunch of different accessories. You can also do like the sun with it. So it has like a sun filter, which at the time we were actually going to have like the full eclipse, so I wanted it, but that was one of the big drivers of me getting it originally. And so when you go to power it on, this is actually something I don't like about it, is it doesn't always come on right away. A lot of times you have to hold it to the point where you're, like, thinking, like, "Okay, is something wrong?" And then all of a sudden it'll come on. The Seastar works jointly with an absolutely wonderful app. I have it on my iPad, and it lets you control the Seastar. One of the things I'm not thrilled about, though, is that it is one of those that you have to be on the Seastar's wireless network, so you can't you have to plan for that device to be offline and just focused on your Seastar while you're doing any kind of recording, which sometimes has been a little bit annoying when I'm doing, like, a long night of recording things. It's typical for how a lot of these types of devices work, like, a lot of cameras and stuff, they do the same thing. The app is completely free, and it just has so many different things in it. You could see, like, your visibility and your weather conditions so that you know if it's even worth doing. It completely controls your CSAR device, like, it's how you open up your arm, it's how you kinda target it at things. It One of the things that I found helpful is it has everything kinda, like, pre-programmed in there. So, when I wanna do, like, the messier objects, I can just say, "Oh, go to this object," and then it'll do its best to try to find that object as long as the conditions are right and that it's that right time of year. So for me, it's really just been that easy button that I need to kind of ease my way into all of this. I mean, it's just so super easy. It's so super small. I can just put it outside and then just play with it on my iPad. So on the cold nights, I don't have to be standing out there trying to get everything adjusted. I can just sit in my couch and do all the adjustments from inside while it's looking outside. It's just been really awesome, and I think one of the best parts too is just how much is just built into it. Because what I was finding before with the scopes, it's like I couldn't be bothered to go do all that work to set it up when I wasn't gonna have anything lasting. But the Seastar has the camera built right in, and so you can just see, and you could just over time, you could just see, like, your images and stuff progressing. One of my favorite things to do is kinda like to stop them at different points, and then I can kinda look back and say, "Okay, here's what I got at, like, a minute in or 5 minutes in or whatever it is that you have, and for astronomy, and doing images and stuff, you really need to let things just go for a long time. And so it just automatically does all that stacking and stuff for you. It has a dew heater and everything. So it's like I know when I talk to my friend, he has like a million and different things that he constantly needs for the scopes. It's like, oh, you need this, you need that, you need this. And with the Seestar, I think that's one of the things I love about it so much is that it's just all built right in and it all fits in the carrying case. So like when we decided to go up to for the so that we could get full coverage on the eclipse, it was super easy. I could just pick it up and then off I go. I could just set it right there. Now, one thing that's both good and bad is that they are constantly updating their software and their firmware. And I've had times where things will be working great and then they'll update and then the firmware gives me new issues. One of the biggest is around having to level everything. At first I didn't have any problems. I like when I'd put it on a surface and then for a while it was like no matter where I tried to put it, it was like completely unlevel and it just kept having problem after problem, and it just wouldn't work because it didn't think it was level enough. And that bug seems to have worked itself out over time. But just little things like you'll notice something and then like all of a sudden you'll start having a problem and then but then later they'll fix it. So it's a good thing. It's just a little frustrating when things worked one way and then all of a sudden they worked a different way. One of my other big frustrations, and this just might be me not having figured this out yet, but we have some really cool moons, and I really wanna get pictures of the moon, and the Seastar just has never been able to handle the moon. I mean, I've gotten all kinds of different things, like, sometimes it's like I'll point it directly facing, like, a big, beautiful moon, and it'll turn itself the opposite way and take an image of nothing. And then there's been times that it'll just go, "Oh, I see it, but it's too bright," and so I've not been able to get any decent shots of the moon. So I'm hoping that it's just me though, and that someday I'll figure it out. I mean, it did do the sun really, really well with its little sun filter, so but so anyway, that kinda like the highs and lows of the Sea Star. It's really, really been fantastic. I'd highly recommend it if you're kinda like me and just kinda starting out, or even if you just want something that's just quick and easy, grab and go, or you don't wanna stand outside on those cold nights and stuff. It just makes everything just so much easier. I have definitely found some limitations in it, like, it just doesn't have the power. When you have, like, the regular telescopes, you can adjust with different eyepieces and stuff, and you can't do that, it's just this is what it is with the Seastar. So I definitely think at some point I will progress on and start working on actual regular telescopes. But it's just been just, like, the perfect little intro and the way to get me started, and then combined with that with, like, doing this channel and stuff, it's like it's helping me I'm researching out what I'm finding and starting and it's just building that curiosity, like, "Wow, this is really cool, I really wanna do this a little bit more." And so it's just been a really, really good thing for me. The Caesars definitely helped me a lot kind of start going down this journey for learning more about astronomy and space.